Hello everybody, and welcome to my review of Season 3, Episode 9 of Little Women Atlanta. Before I get started, I just want to say that this video will act like a spoiler, so you might want to watch this video later. The name of this episode is Houston, We Have a Problem. The episode begins with Money and Juicy meeting up at a donut shop. Money tells Juicy that she wants to go to Houston to convince her baby daddy to let her son, D2, live with her in Atlanta, and she needs Juicy for moral support. In the commentary, Money says that her son Derek Jr. lives in Houston with his dad, and she visits him a lot, but she wants her son to live with her. Juicy says that Money has been handling her business, and her baby daddy needs to see that, which will help him make a decision. Money says since Moreland called off the wedding, it's given her a lot of time to think about the other aspects in her life. She moved to Atlanta to better herself, and she's proud of her progress, and it's a great time to ask her baby daddy if her son can stay with her. Then, Money asks Juicy if she'll be willing to go with her to Houston. Juicy says she'd love to. She says that she's proud of how Money has turned the negative things in her life into positive things, and as for Money's Moreland problems, Moreland just needs time, and she thinks that he'll come through. In the next scene, the twins and Minnie hit the gym. They do some stretches, and then they get on some exercise equipment. Then, Minnie starts getting tired after being on the treadmill. Then they all sit down. Minnie says that she's been worrying about her breathing. She says that she notices how hard she breathes, and she wants to get her breathing checked out. She says that breathing problems are common in little people. Minnie says that one time, her mother noticed how she stopped breathing when she was sleeping. Amanda says that she knew that Minnie had been breathing kind of hard. She was going to tell Minnie, but she didn't want Minnie to take it in a bad way, and she's glad she's going to have it checked out. Minnie says that she's been dealing with her heavy breathing since she was a kid, and the doctor would say that Minnie was breathing heavy, but they never ran any tests on her. Minnie says breathing problems are common in LPs, but she feels like hers are getting worse. She needs to get them checked out, but she's scared. Minnie mentions how self-conscious she is about her breathing, and it's time for her to see what's going on. Amanda tells Minnie that if she needs someone to go with her to her doctor's appointment, she and her sister can go with her, and they're there for her. In the next scene, Tanya gets on FaceTime with Nico. She tells Nico that she and Sam got into a fight, and Sam is moving out. In the commentary, Tanya says that Sam feels like Nico doesn't treat her right, and she's making a big mistake. She feels justified about how she spoke to her, because Sam shouldn't be talking bad about Nico. She knows Nico better than anyone, and she doesn't need Sam passing judgment on him. Then, Tanya asks Nico what's his time frame for coming to Atlanta. Nico says hopefully soon. He's finishing a project, but he is coming. So basically he just said he didn't know. Tanya says it's a lot to be a working mom with 2 kids and being pregnant. And she needs Nico there. Nico says he can't tell Tanya a specific day at that moment, and he's trying to figure that out. And Tanya needs to be patient with him. Tanya says she's been patient. Nico says he'll be there. Tanya says she'll believe that when she sees it. In the commentary, Tanya says she should have seen that coming. Just when she thinks that he's stepping up, he becomes unpredictable and unavailable. Tanya points out to Nico that he's putting what's important to himself first. Nico says he didn't say that, then Tanya says she can tell by his actions. Tanya tells him to do his thing. Nico says he'll be there. Tanya tells Nico that she'll see him when she sees him. Money and Juicy make it to Houston, Texas. Money tells Juicy that she has plans to talk to her stepdad and ask him for advice on how to talk to her baby daddy. Juicy says Money's dad can give her advice from a man's perspective of the situation. Money says that she's nervous because her son's dad is headstrong. She has a strong opinion herself, and so does her baby daddy. Money says that she just wants her son to live with her. In the commentary, Juicy says she doesn't think that Money will get the outcome she expected, and moving a child from one parent's home to another is not always easy. But she's there to support Money, but she's going to keep her doubts to herself. In the next scene, Amanda visits Andrea in her apartment. Then there's a knock on the door, and Sam is at the door. Sam comes in. Sam tells Andrea that she feels that it's not a good idea for her to live in the same home as Nico since they don't click, and she doesn't even want to see him, so she moved out of Tanya's house. Sam says she moved in with Tanya to be her nanny, but since Nico is talking about moving in, she feels a little useless, and it's best that she moves out and gives everyone their space. She thinks Nico is rude, not supportive, and a total flake, and Tanya deserves way better. Amanda asks what Tanya said about the situation. Sam says Tanya told her to get her and get the out. Then Andrea tells Sam that she and her sister are really going to miss her, and they don't want her to leave at all. But it's Sam's decision. Then the twins start to cry, and Sam comforts them. In the commentary, the twins say that they've gotten so close with Sam, and it's sad that she's going to be gone. But she gets why she doesn't want to be around Nico. Amanda says she doesn't like the way Chris treats her sister, so she can relate. Sam says the twins make her not want to leave, but she has to. Maybe she'll come back, but for the moment, she's definitely going home. I really do think that Sam is leaving. You know why I think so? I can tell by the opening sequence. I noticed that Sam is not in the opening sequence, so maybe they recorded that when Sam decided that she didn't want to do the show anymore. I really hope she doesn't leave. I like Sam. She's really nice. And she's woke too. She's woke like Amanda. In the next scene, Money meets with her stepdad, Donald, to chat about advice for custody business with her son. She tells her stepdad that she wants her son to live with her. Donald says that she knows that her baby daddy is a strong-willed man. And anytime you make a transition in your head, it always seems easy. But uprooting him may cause a setback. He mentions transitioning her son to another state, where he'll have to make new friends and be in a new environment, and the cost for doing all that. Money says that she wants to fight, and she doesn't want to be that parent that doesn't fight for their child, considering how her biological father didn't fight for her as a kid, which made her feel unwanted. Even though she and her dad have somewhat of a relationship, it took her a while to stop resenting him, and she doesn't want her son to resent her. Money's stepdad wants Money to know that he's on her side, and if her baby daddy decides to go with Money's decision, Money needs to make sure that she takes on that extra responsibility. In the next scene, Amanda goes with Minnie to see a sleep specialist so Minnie can find out why she's breathing harder. Minnie tells the doctor that she wants to know why she's breathing hard. The doctor says a lot of components to feeling shortness of breath could be related to Minnie's anatomy. Little people have shorter necks, which compresses the airway, causing it to collapse, and there's a higher chance of it collapsing when she's sleeping. The doctor examines Minnie, and he tells her that her tonsils hang down low compared to where her tongue is, and that puts her at risk for having sleep apnea. He says people can have sleep apnea and not know it, and develop hypertension over time, and develop diabetes, obesity, heart disease, or strokes. Those things happen when sleep apnea is not treated. The doctor says their next step for Minnie is doing a sleep study. In the commentary, Minnie says that she's not looking forward to doing a sleep test, and she doesn't like sleeping in strange places. Back in Texas, Money and Juicy go to Money's baby daddy's house. Money is reunited with her son. She is greeted by her son's grandmother. D2's grandmother tells Money that D2 is doing well in school, and he was involved in a school music presentation. Money tells her son that she's glad that he's doing good, and she missed him. Just from watching this short scene, I think that D2 is a sweet boy. He's making good grades, he seems nice, so kudos to the people that raised him. Then, Money asks D2 if he wants to live with her in Atlanta. D2 nods, which means yes. Then Money asks D2's grandmother how she would feel if D2 stayed with her. D2's grandmother says it would be great because D2 misses her so much, but as for D2's father, there's a different story. Then D2, his grandmother, and Ms.Juicy leave the room. Then Derek, D2's father, enters the room to talk to Money. Derek points out how D2 has a father, a brother, and a grandmother in Houston, and Money wants to take him away from all that. Money says she wants her son and she misses him. Derek asks Money how does she think that he'll feel with D2 being away from him. Money says that she's feeling it, and Derek is basically saying that it's cool for her to miss D2, but it's not cool for him to miss D2. Then Money asks why can't D2 stay with her, and she mentions how she's his mom. Derek says he understands that Money is his mother and things are going good for Money in Atlanta, but he's going to miss D2. Money reminds Derek that she's missing out on the stuff D2 does. Then Money starts to get a little emotional. She says D2 is her child too, and Derek has to try to meet her in the middle. Derek says he has no problem with D2 visiting, But as far as living, he'll have to sleep on it. In the next scene, Tanya meets with a realtor. Minnie comes along with her. Then they look around in the house that Tanya might be interested in buying. Then Tanya and Minnie sit down to talk. Tanya says that she likes the house. Then she tells Money that Sam wants to move back to New Jersey and doesn't want to live in the same house as Nico. Minnie says that Sam knows Tanya's situation. She doesn't get along with Nico. She needs to put her feelings to the side and at least be there for Tanya and the baby. Tanya says at that point, Nico and her aren't really talking, and she doesn't even know if he's coming out. Tanya says there are a lot of risks with LP pregnancies. Nico wasn't around for his first child, and she wants things to be different. She doesn't want to face things alone. Minnie asks Tanya, since things are iffy between her and Nico, does she think that Sam will stay? And she also asks if she's talked to Sam about it. Tanya says she has, and it ended badly. Sam says she wants to be out before Nico even makes it to Atlanta. I agree with Sam needing to separate herself so there won't be any problems. And I also agree with Minnie putting the problems aside and being there for Tanya. I agree with both of them. I think I agree with Minnie more. One of the reasons Sam moved with Tanya was to be her nanny and be there for her kids. Like Tanya says, it's hard being a business owner and have 2 kids and be pregnant at the same time. So Sam should stick around. Maybe she should get an apartment down the street or something so she can go to Tanya's house and be there for the kids, you know? And just try to get along with Nico as best as she can. In the next scene, Money, D2, and Juicy go to a barbershop where Money's cousin works, so D2 can get a haircut. Money tells her cousin about how she wants her son to live with her, but that probably won't be a reality because of her baby daddy's decision. She mentions how Derek's judgment can be influenced by his mood, so if he's having a bad day, for example, he'll say that her son can't move in with her. Then, Money's cousin, Juicy, and some other men in the barbershop chime in on the conversation. Then, a random man in the shop says that when a young man grows up, he needs to be with his dad. Then Juicy tells the man that D2 wants to be with both of them, and that's what Money is trying to do. Another man says that there are a lot of mothers who are keeping their kids away from their fathers. Juicy says that's not the case. Money says all these people chiming in are causing her to lose confidence that D2 should be living with her, and in her heart she feels she's doing what's best for D2. Money says if she had her way, she would just take her son, hop on a plane, and go back to Atlanta. D2 has been with his dad for a couple of years, and it's her turn now. In the next scene, Minnie goes to the sleep study center with Amanda so she can get a sleep study done. Then they go into the room that has a couple of beds in it, and then Minnie gets emotional. She says she's scared about the doctors not being able to find out what's wrong with her. She says that she's self-conscious about her breathing in public. When she was younger, she didn't go to sleepovers because of her snoring. Amanda says that she's there for Minnie. Then, a nurse comes in and connects some wires to Minnie's head and puts a respiratory belt around her waist. And then, after that, Minnie and Amanda go to sleep. Back in Texas, Money and Juicy go to a restaurant so Money can meet with her baby daddy. Juicy tells Money good luck and to relax. Then Ms.Juicy goes and sits somewhere else, and Money's baby daddy arrives, and they sit down and talk. Money asks Derek if he slept on the decision of letting D2 live with her. Derek says that D2 can visit Money, but as far as living, no. Then Money gets mad. Money asks if he's saying that the only way Money can see her son is on holidays. Derek says that Money is blowing things out of proportion. Money says D2 is her child, and she had him, and she laid on the table for 12 hours. Derek tells Money that she can see D2 whenever she wants, but as far as living, no. Money says she's ready for her son and she had everything all set up. She says that every child should be with their mom. Derek tells Money that talking to her is like talking to a wall. Then Money says that they'll just have to go back to court. Then Derek leaves. Money says that she knew that would happen. Juicy comes back and asks what happened. Money says that Derek said no. She says that her son visiting is not enough to her, and she said that her main reason for moving to Atlanta was to better herself. And Derek still says no. Money says it's not even worth trying anymore, and every time she tries, stuff doesn't work. Juicy tells Money to calm down, And then Money knocks over a drink onto the floor in anger. In the next scene, the ladies get together to go ice skating for Sam's last night in Atlanta before she leaves. Money arrives with her son, and he finally gets to meet all of the ladies. Money says that D2 is in Atlanta for winter break. Then, all the ladies go ice skating and they have a good time. Then they all sit down at a table. Some of the ladies tell Sam that they're going to miss her when she leaves. Then Juicy asks Sam who told her to leave. Sam says that nobody necessarily told her to leave, but with the situation that she's been put in, she prefers to go home. Sam tells Tanya that she knows she's hormonal, but she wants an apology for the way that she came at her. Tanya says she's not doing that. Tanya gets up and leaves the table. Sam says Tanya has a habit of trying to avoid unpleasant situations, but there's no way she's leaving town without resolving things with her first. Sam tells Tanya that she's not going to argue with her, but she feels like she lashed out at her. Tanya says it kinda doesn't make sense to her that Sam wants to leave because Nico is coming, but then say that she wants to be there for her. Sam says she can't deal with Nico in the house, and since it's Tanya's house/family, Sam can't say that she's staying and Nico can't come. Tanya says she thought about it after they talked, and she gets it. She and Nico aren't really talking. Sam points out how Tanya and Nico go at each other for the stupidest stuff. She does want to be there for her, but at the same time, she has to look out for herself. Tanya says she doesn't get why Sam has to leave Atlanta. Sam says she's not saying she's gone for good, and Tanya knows that she doesn't with Nico, and she knows he won't be in that house for long, and she's leaving. Then Sam walks away, and that's the end of the episode. I don't think Nico's gonna be around for long. He needs to be there to raise his kids, you know? And Sam should at least try to be there for Tanya. I think that Nico is kind of being flaky. They're both right. He's being flaky, and while she's gonna leave. And Tanya will be a single mother of 3. And that is not easy. So, hopefully Nico is there to be a legit father. Hopefully he's there for his second child. And stays Money's situation with her son. That is so sad that she can't have her son live with her. Just like her stepdad said, there's a lot of money and responsibility involved with moving a kid to their other parents' house. They have to go to a new school, make new friends, gotta deal with a new environment, all the emotional stuff. And that's all I have to say about this episode. I hope you guys found this episode review entertaining and helpful. Sorry I posted this video a little late. Follow me on Twitter at ILUMoreThanThis. Keep an eye out for my Little Women Atlanta live tweets. Subscribe to my channel. If you have subscribed, turn on my notifications. I think I have at least one subscriber who turns on my notifications. Because every time I post a video and it gets like 2 or 3 views, someone has already liked it. So, shout out to you, my loyal subscriber. Keep it up. If you want to watch my previous Little Women Atlanta review videos, you can check that out. It's all in one playlist. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!